You could take psychedelic drugs to hallucinate, but most of them are illegal. So possibly the easiest way you could experience something similar is exploiting a few optical illusions. I've found 10 optical illusions that demonstrate this effect the best, and they're ranked from worst to best, according to how well I thought they worked. When you've watched them all, let me know if you agree with my rankings in the comments section. Also, if you suffer epilepsy or another similar condition, I strongly advise you not to watch this video. Other than that, don't be afraid, as these hallucinogenic effects typically last just a few seconds. Number 10. The Waterfall Illusion. With this illusion, just stare at the dot on screen. Like all the illusions in this video, for the full effect, it's best you watch it in full screen. Fixate your eyes on the dot and keep your eyes located on its position when the image changes. Did you notice the water moving upwards? If not, you can try again. And you can always look at your surroundings rather than the image on screen, and the objects in your peripheral vision should look as if they move upwards. If it worked, the illusion you just witnessed is what's known as the motion after effect. The term was coined in the late 1800s to describe the effect of nearby rocks appearing to move upwards after staring at a waterfall for a short time. Basically, the stationary image you stare at after the stimulus will move in the opposite direction to the physically moving stimulus you observed previously. It's believed to be the result of motion adaptation. Aristotle actually observed the waterfall effect all the way back in 350 BC, but never gave it a name. He realized that after viewing constant movement, stationary objects appear to move too when you look away. If it didn't work for you, more extreme versions of it coming up surely will, since they're loosely based on this early form of the motion after effect illusion. Number 9. Wobbly keyboard. A moving picture will show on screen. Stare at it, and once it disappears, look down at your keyboard. Now stare at your keyboard. Does it look like your keys are wobbling? The motion after effect that takes place in this illusion is known as the spiral after effect. The circles in the picture appear to be moving simultaneously inwards and outwards. When you look down at your keyboard, your brain tries to achieve balance by visualizing the keyboard moving in the opposite direction. As the circles are moving in two directions, however, your brain gets confused, which makes the effect dizzying. Number 8. Spiral hallucination. Here's an even more effective illusion. This time, focus on the black dot in the center. Once the illusion finishes, look at a nearby wall. It works best if you have posters. Look like it's melting? This is another example of the spiral after effect. When you're staring at the spiral, your brain is desperately trying to adapt to the constant movement. The neurons coding the movement will eventually slow down and catch up with you when you return to the world of stationary objects. Number 7. Rotating snakes. Now for an illusion that's slightly different and can be seen instantaneously. Known as the rotating snakes illusion, all you have to do is stare at the wheels and you'll notice that they're constantly moving, even though you're looking at a still image. If you fixate your gaze at a fixed point on the image, the effect can be stopped and it will go stationary. Created by Akiyoshi Katoka, scientists believe the illusion works because of asymmetric luminance. Basically, it moves because you experience a latency in processing different parts of the figure. The high contrast areas are processed faster than low contrast areas, where contrast is defined globally over the entire receptive field of an individual retinal neuron. If you look closely, you'll notice the adjacent snakes are patterned so that the colors appear in the opposite order, explaining why some snakes rotate clockwise and others counterclockwise. Number 6. I swear it's not moving. This is actually just a still picture, I promise. It appears that the circles are manically vibrating, but it's just an illusion. You can try all you like, but trying to get the center of this picture to sit still is an impossible task. Scientists still aren't quite sure why our brains trick us into thinking pictures like this are moving. Like the previous example, it may be that black and white in close proximity to colors makes the picture appear to flicker. Another theory suggests the repetition of certain asymmetric patterns can cause the appearance of movements. Either way, whatever is happening, the result is awesome. Number 5. Line illusion. You know the drill by now. Stare at the center until the illusion disappears. Are the objects around you growing and shrinking? This one's really effective, so stare at it for longer if it didn't work the first time. Number 4. Keep your feet on the ground. This one is similar to the waterfall example, but should definitely work. As usual, stare and then look at the screen or your surroundings. It should have appeared as if your surroundings rotated back to their normal position. The constant movement of the squares makes you lose your sense of balance, and the motion after effect moves whatever stationary object you are looking at in the opposite direction to the lines of the illusion on screen. Number 3. Circles hallucination. This next one is almost identical to an illusion you've already seen, but the difference is it's much faster and more intense, so the effect is very different. Make sure you're sitting down and stare at your screen for the duration of the video. Then tell me what you see in the comments. Now look away and take in the effect. The after effect in this video is so intense that it should appear as if there are frantically moving spirals on the wall, rather than just mild wobbling, like you saw previously with the wobbling keyboard example. Number 2. We don't live in a world of reality. Now back to another trippy video. Stare at the center of the screen and read the letter aloud. Pay close attention and don't make any mistakes. When the illusion disappears, look around the room. Has everything suddenly become extremely distorted? This is another take on the motion after effect illusion, only it's like our early spiral effect on steroids. When you look away, the room severely distorts as you try to refocus on reality. Number 1. Room spin. Stare closely at the center of the screen and try to keep your eyes still if you can. Look away when the video tells you to. Do the objects around you seem to rotate very intensely? Due to its unique form, I found this one to be the most effective spiral illusion, making it seem like everything was spirally warping very intensely around me. So which illusions worked for you? And how would you rank them in terms of their effectiveness? Let me know in the comments section down below, and thanks for watching.